Thanks for joining us here at 10. We are under a storm alert at this time. Let's get straight to meteorologist Gino Recchia, who's been tracking the massive snow totals all day. And Gino, there's still a long way to go.
Right, Mo. We had the first round last night into this morning, then we had a lull, and now we're watching the second round begin. And guess what? It is going to be a very powerful system. Blizzard warnings in effect for parts of the viewing area from Marinette down towards Outagamie County, Brown County, and up towards Door County. That is where some very gusty winds accompanying the snowfall will cause whiteout conditions. Travel, really do not want to do it if you don't absolutely have to get on the roads over the next 18 to 24 hours. That's where the snow is right now. It's all advancing from the south, from northern Illinois, and this is going to continue throughout the entire overnight period into Sunday afternoon, and that's where the bulk of that additional snowfall accumulation is expected. Heavy snows, a little bit of a wintry mix, but then with the high winds, that's going to cause some very difficult travel. So like I was just mentioning, please don't head on the roads if you don't absolutely need to. Wind gusts right now between about 30 to 40 miles per hour, and they will be picking up. They vary. We had near 50 mile per hour wind gusts in Green Bay just not too long ago. The bulk of the snowfall will be occurring while we're sleeping, so at least that is good news. But still into the day on Sunday, expecting several inches of snowfall accumulation. Then once the storm lifts up into Canada, we'll start to see that snow really start to dwindle down. On top of the snowfall, we also have a concern for some flooding along the lakeshore. Flood warning along the lakeside areas from Oconto up towards Door County, Manitowoc and Sheboygan counties under an advisory, and we are concerned with some beach erosion, some damaged property, and also perhaps water backing up on the Fox River. Lots to talk about this evening. I'll have that full forecast breaking it down in just a few minutes, Mo.
All right, Gino, thank you. And the storm making it very tough for drivers tonight. Several places in the viewing area are declaring snow emergencies. City and county workers are urging drivers to stay off the roads as much as they can tonight. NBC 26's Matt Jarko is live in Ashwaubenon with a live look at those roads. Matt.
Yeah, Mo, it's starting to pick up again here now, a kind of a freezing rain mix, and the winds certainly have not subsided at all. That's keeping the roads a little bit slick right now. We'll give you a look at Highway 172 behind us here. You see cars able to get through this busy road pretty easily right now, but there is still some slick spots out there certainly, and something drivers will need to be careful of. However, this afternoon when this stopped, a little bit of relief for drivers during an extremely difficult day out here on the roads. Drivers had a lot of problems out there, a lot of wet, heavy snow, high winds. It all led to some really slow travel and even made things difficult for the snowplow drivers too. They say the snow came earlier than what they thought, and it's hard to move that heavy snow. Officials say they hope to use this afternoon's break to try and get ahead of what's coming tonight and tomorrow.
Trying to get the city cleaned up, not in great condition, but travelable. 12 inches of heavy wet snow is a difficult thing, even for big equipment to try and push.
And officials say drivers can help out crews trying to clean up the city. The biggest thing they can do, as you heard from Gino there, is really to just stay off the road. We talked a little bit about that break this afternoon, but it is starting to pick up again here now, and conditions could get pretty slick out here in a very short period of time. We'll be back with another look later on in the show. Matt Jarko, NBC 26.
And just like Matt was saying, stay off the road if you can. Matt, thank you. And now let's take a look at some more road conditions, courtesy of the Wisconsin DOT 511 map. Driving conditions are still pretty treacherous right now. Just about all of northeast Wisconsin is in red or blue with snow and ice covered roads. Also a few spots in the northern counties where you see the black. The DOT says driving conditions are so poor, travel is not advised at all. And the snowfall, not the only issue today. Here's a look at some high water near the mouth of the Fox River in Green Bay. Some local boat ramps were blocked and covered with both snow and water. And the heavy amounts of snow leading to thousands of power outages as well. WPS reports they've already returned power to nearly 20,000 customers today, but they say there's still 1,800 without it at this time. They say the hardest hit area is the Chilton area, which has about 930 outages. Also, several other northeast Wisconsin areas declaring snow emergencies this weekend. Some are Green Bay, Ashwaubenon, Howard, and Salmico. Now, with the tow bans in effect, parking on streets is not allowed at this time. Crews need to clear the roads. And a tow ban is in effect for some Green Bay and Outagamie County roads. Green Bay police say this applies to everyone inside the I-43, I-41 Beltway. Outagamie County deputies also putting in a tow ban for Highway 41 and Highway 441. Authorities will still respond to all crashes in those areas, but the vehicles that are going to be off the road or in the ditch will be left alone until that weather gets better. It's also prom season and many students who are looking forward to celebrating it. But here in Northeast Wisconsin, Mother Nature decided to keep those students grounded. NBC 26's Max Grossfeld has our story.
3 Green Bay area schools, East, Southwest, and Preble, were supposed to have prom today. Instead, students will have to wait. Students held out hope Friday they'd get a prom this weekend. That hope went unrewarded.
Pretty upset. I've been looking forward to this.
The district says the weather's just too nasty to risk having students on the roads.
Obviously, safety is our #1 concern, and even though the kids might not be that concerned about their safety, sometimes we have to do that for them.
The Green Bay Area Public Schools spokesman says he realizes this decision could be expensive.
Almost like disastrous because we would have to reschedule everything.
We want to make sure that respect that, but also, again, safety is our first top priority.
Some things are more important than money, and students say this decision could have them answering to a higher power.
I would not be able to make prom, and girlfriend would not be very happy about that.
We certainly hope that young man's girlfriend understands. Green Bay Area Public Schools says it'll make a decision on when the proms will be rescheduled early this upcoming week. Keeping you connected, Max Grossfeld, NBC 26.
And down at Lambeau Field, the atrium and all businesses, including the Packers Pro Shop, 1919 Kitchen and Tap, the Packers Hall of Fame and stadium tours will be closed again tomorrow as well. And for all the latest updates on the forecast, road conditions, school and business closings, download the NBC 26 mobile app and check it out on our website at NBC26.com. What's still ahead on NBC 26 at 6? Is there no end in sight? Gina will be back with a full look at your forecast as heavy snow slams Northeast Wisconsin. Plus more on the airstrikes in Syria. See reaction from all around the world.
The second round of the snow system is getting underway. A blizzard warning is in effect for along the Bay Area counties, Marinette, Outagamie, Oconto, Brown, Kewaunee, and Door counties. And then for the rest of us, we have a winter storm warning in effect until midnight tomorrow night, so early Monday morning. This is what the radar is looking like right now. Notice just the past 2 hours how much of an increase we've noticed down from the south. All this moisture lifting up to the north, even mixing in with a little bit of sleet. While it seems to be all snow, it's some sleet and snow mix as some warm air is trying to work its way in from the south, but it should be preliminarily, especially when we get towards the overnight period, mostly snowfall. Winds blowing in out of the north and northeast between about 25 to 40 miles per hour. That's going to cause blowing and drifting snowfall. Visibility is down to a fraction of a mile. 1 mile right now in Shawano, 1.5 miles of Toma, Wapaka 1 1/4. So where you see visibility is down near a mile, that's where that snowfall or that wintry mix is coming down at a stronger rate than areas like, let's say, towards Manitowoc. They're at 4 miles of visibility. That moisture will continue to lift up to the northeast through the remainder of tonight, overnight into tomorrow afternoon, because this low pressure is moving so slowly and it's just drawing all this moisture from the Gulf of Mexico through the state of Illinois and even Indiana. That's where it's coming from, and it's continuing to increase in coverage. This low pressure is going to drift very slowly to the east over the next 24 hours. A high pressure to the north is helping us with the snowfall. It's pulling in all this cold air from Canada, and the low pressure drawing in the moisture, and we happen to be in between it, a perfect setup for some very significant snow. The first round of snow, and really all the way up towards this evening, now 12.1 inches, over a foot officially in Green Bay. 14 inches, 12.5 inches in parts of Shawano County, Menominee, 13 inches, Sister Bay, 12 inches of snowfall, but near 1.5 feet in Sturgeon Bay. We are now officially the greatest April snowstorm on record, 12.1 inches, and it's still snowing. We got perhaps over a foot of snow on top of that. Yesterday, we broke a daily snowfall record, 2.5 inches, tops a 1.4 inch total. And then for today, we got 9.6 inches so far. That breaks the 6.2 inch record back in 1928. So here's how we play it out for the rest of the evening into the overnight while most of us should be sleeping. Temperatures in the 20s. It's going to be cold enough that most of this will be a light and fluffy snow with the gusty winds blowing and drifting. It's going to be terrible on the roadways. We get till 5 o'clock, still heavy snow continues, and that's going to be the case until the afternoon and evening hours. So how much snow can we expect by the time we wake up tomorrow morning? 8:30. Between 9 to as much as 12 inches of snowfall. Now down to the south, Manitowoc, Oshkosh, even Sheboygan, that's about 2 to 4.5 inches of snow. But it's still going to be snowing through the remainder of tomorrow morning into the afternoon. It's still heavy snowfall. We have to wait until late afternoon into the evening. Now we start to see the snow weaken in intensity, and by tomorrow, on Monday morning, we'll notice just a few flurries, maybe a couple snow showers, but the majority of that snowfall accumulation should be done with. So by the time it's all said and done, this is how much additional snowfall accumulation we are expecting. 10 to 16 inches of snowfall from Watoma up towards Kewaunee and northward. And in this area right here up towards the Northwoods, we could see some scattered totals between 16 to 20 inches. Farther down to the south, about 6 to 10 inches of snowfall. And then with the gusty winds that are blowing out of the north and northeast between 40 to near 50 miles per hour, that's going to cause a lot of blowing and drifting snow. Very terrible driving conditions. 25 degrees, maybe some thunder snow, could be possible. For tomorrow, near 30 degrees, heavy snow in the morning, then we start to wind down during the afternoon and evening. Now the next better day of forecast will be Tuesday, high of 36. We have another round of snowfall on Wednesday, and then a chance of a wintry mix as we get towards Thursday. So a bit of break in the action Tuesday, and yes, well, even more snow in that forecast, but at least we go back into the 40s by the weekend.
So a long way to go.
I know.
I'll be right back at the break. Stay with us. On to the crisis in Syria. There were different reactions across the world today concerning the airstrikes, their legality, and their success. NBC's Bill Neely has more from Beirut.
The reaction to the airstrikes from here in the Middle East and indeed across the world, predictable and really rather muted. Many governments, many people had expected the airstrikes to be far worse. In the end, they were limited to 3 targets. But the reaction from Iran, well, it said the airstrikes were a crime. Russia said an act of aggression. There were protests in Syria. The allies, well, President Macron of France has telephoned President Trump and British Prime Minister Theresa May, and they're basically congratulating each other on the success of the airstrikes. Some of the words coming out of the capitals: Washington said precise, overwhelming and effective, and from London, successful, legal and proportionate. But as I say, there are divisions over the legality and the success of the airstrikes. Those divisions played out on the floor of the United Nations Security Council.
If the Syrian regime uses this poisonous gas again, the United States is locked and loaded. When our president draws a red line, our president enforces the red line.
That red line enforced in the early hours of this morning with 106 missiles, 105 missiles, 76 of them landing on one chemical weapons facility. The US saying these limited strikes were precise and a success. Bill Neely, NBC News, Beirut.
And more on tonight's weather after the break. Stay with us.